Good morning and welcome to Mahala Monday. It is the 15th, as you are truly well aware. And there you are. And it is an absolute privilege to be with you. My name is Dougal. Good morning, Rhoda.
Good morning, Dougal. Morning, everybody, on this very cold morning. Welcome to Mahala Monday.
Yeah, cold maybe for some, but exciting for others.
Very exciting.
Let's focus on what it is all about. It is a live show, of course, and we look forward to your questions and comments. So wherever you are, definitely get those questions in. And today we're talking about a very interesting theme. I think it is really fantastic. And as we said before, of course, this is something quite extraordinary, exciting. It's brilliant, isn't it?
And especially for the month of Women's Month, Dougal. And this makes me very excited, especially when you're looking at the wine industry and you're looking at women in power and the ladies of the month. I get very excited because it's all about ladies.
Yeah, and that is what we're talking about. So one of the themes, and definitely something we're going to cover, is about women winemakers then. Within the wine industry, and you know, and we've heard stories of a woman really trailblazing, as it would be. We've heard the stories, but I don't think I've ever spoken to a woman winemaker.
Definitely not, Dougal. Neither have I. So this is quite interesting to me as well.
Yeah,
very excited about it.
Importantly, we're going to talk about the fabulous products and the fabulous wines, of course. So a very, very exciting topic and enlightening as always, and more importantly, you can be part of this. So I'm sure you've got some exciting questions. Maybe you're considering this as a career opportunity. How do you go about it? What would the attributes be? And you know, what are the exciting things? What are the industry all about? And what other options are within the industry? And for that reason, of course, we've got a very special guest this morning who's also behind these wonderful wine that we will be... we tasting, aren't we?
Definitely, Dougal. You were so excited. So you know what? Yeah, today is the day.
Already, but so it is quite exciting, of course. So Yonder Hill Wines, which is situated just outside of Stellenbosch, out in the Western Cape, obviously a remarkable wine estate. And Jeanette van Lill is the winemaker at such estate. And she'll be joining us as we're going to be talking about the wine farm in itself, what is there to do on the wine farm, the history a bit about the wine farm, and also she's going to give her insights, of course, within the wine industry. And more importantly, we're going to be reflecting on these amazing products. So Jeanette, thank you so much for joining us here on Mahala Monday. How are you doing? Greetings. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Good morning. I'm very well, thank you. And maybe it's cold, Rhoda, but it's just more excuse to taste wine early in the morning.
Most definitely. I fully agree with you. And that's why I'm very excited about this morning, to warm up the blood.
Listen, I'm glad you say that, because I've been telling Rhoda that the whole time, and she don't want to believe me. So now a different person just saying it, like kind of cements what I was saying. You know what I mean? Yeah, but listen, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us. There's so much we want to cover, of course, within this, and we're definitely going to touch base on being a woman in the wine industry as a career opportunity, what to do, where do you go, all these sort of things. But before we do any of that, tell us, who's Jeanette van Lill? How did you get involved in all of this?
So I grew up in Durbanville, in between the wine farms, and so I was always fascinated about this and seeing the seasons, all the seasons with the vines. And I did a weekend job there for a while, and then I thought this is what I wanted to do, because it's such a versatile career. You have to have knowledge of the weather, of the soil, of the plant, of the whole vinification process, not just of one type of wine, but different types of wine, and also how to present your product, and also even pair it with food. So I just love everything about this job. You're never bored with this. And that's how I got into winemaking. I studied at Alsenburg Agriculture College. I know there's also a course at Stellenbosch University. And then was actually my 14th harvest this year.
14th.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. And then obviously just listening to you now, I get quite excited as well. Just a woman within the winemaking industry. That's obviously quite a challenge, because, this is new to a lot of people at the end of the day. Am I correct?
Yes. it is quite male dominated. Well, it was. It's now more balanced.
Glad. I'm so glad.
And for wine, balance. But I mean, women and men can. They both make excellent wines, but women just don't always have the physical ability to do things. But we have other assets that we can do. I think we're much more sensitively inclined and focus on maybe other details. But sometimes you have to work hard to be it's quite a male dominated industry, so it is sometimes you have to really work hard to show yourself. Prove yourself.
There's a comment from Danelle there.
Hey Danelle, how's it going? Danelle says, hello from myself and Jeanette from a very cold Beaufort West this morning.
Wow.
We also need a sip of red wine, she says, and well done, Jeanette, for sharing your story and being an inspirational woman in wine. So much love coming your way. Thank you very much, Danelle.
Thank you, Danelle.
Hope you're well, say to Jeanette. And so there you are now in the industry, and I mean, as a woman winemaker, there's not that many, I would assume, but surely that is hugely inspirational to so many women who would like to sort of get into that sort of trade and industry.
Yes, there are many more ladies in the industry than in the past, but it's such a rewarding career. I mean, the nature gives you something, and you have to create something, and then to see what you created with what God gave you. And there's no fixed recipe. It's every year it's different. You have to make with what you get. So it's winemakers' intuition is also very important.
And I'm just thinking now, sorry to go. I mean, if you really look at it, this is something it's been coming on for years. And I mean, we're talking years, because if you really think of it, wine has been coming on for some time. If you're looking at the time, biblical age, the Roman Empire, and I mean, now for me, I mean, I'm just listening to you now. I'm thinking you yourself are creating history right now as well, because, making these, I mean, wow, well done.
But
Thank you.
But Jeanette, I mean, just looking at it, and I mean, when you sort of studied, there was a bigger awareness. So compared to, let's say, 10 years ago, there was just very few women within the industry, and as rightfully as you just said a short while ago, it is moving towards being a lot more balanced. And that is really fascinating. What I actually want to ask you, how difficult, and this is just based on what you just said a moment ago, you got to kind of work with what nature gives you. How difficult is it to make wine? How difficult? This is something I can, if I go to the shop, I buy a bunch of grapes, there I go with my grocery bag. Can I do it?
You could try, but you need some. You can try. And you
Fair
can
enough,
read
that's
up on
okay,
it,
you've
but
answered.
It's like during lockdown with the pineapple beer.
The pineapple beer.
It's not, I guess it's not difficult, but you have to have that passion for this industry. And for me, the magic about winemaking is, yes, you need practical experience so much. It's really, really important. And then having a degree or a qualification in agriculture is really just so much beneficial. Just to know, with that when you make pineapple beer, for example, that there's a possibility of a wrong alcohol developing, and that's toxic. And so you need that knowledge as well. And then, like I said, passion for winemaking, and then your gut, trust your gut.
I'm loving that.
That's my winemaking philosophy.
That's your winemaking philosophy. I love it.
Talk to us about Yonder Hill. So what we do know is that Yonder Hills, the farm, is just outside of Stellenbosch.
Yes, we are on Somerset west side of Stellenbosch, a very small farm on the slopes of the Helderberg, and we have only red grapes on the farm.
Okay.
We buy in the Sauvignon Blanc from a nearby producer, but we have some input in how the wine is vinified. And it's a South African-owned wine estate. It's owned by the Nordia family, and the family is very close and involved in the winery itself. We even have the wines named after the family members. And yes, we have a rosé, and then 3 red wines, a Merlot, and 2 Bordeaux style blends. And yes, what else can I tell you?
So there's quite a now. Also, there's some cattle on your farm, right?
Yes, look at that beautiful picture. Yes,
Stunning.
we also know you can see our Ankoli cattle, and they're really magnificent animals. It's really something extraordinary to see.
Yeah.
It's just, and now it's not a good, you can see them from a distance, but you can't go close. They have calves now, so it's, and they're very, very protective mothers.
They're presidential, it's fine. They proper.
Oh, Dougal.
They proper. So, but they are magnificent. So, and I mean, you've got these on the farm as well.
Yes, they're also on Yonder Hill, and like I said, the wine tasting is open. We've 6 days a week. And on Fridays and Saturdays, we also serve pizzas.
Oh, lovely.
We also have Ankoli beer here, but today we're focusing on the wine.
Yeah.
And we also do something very interesting and different. We do a soup and wine pairing.
Oh, wow, that's different.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Something really experience.
And is that from Monday to Saturday as well, the soup and wine?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes, you just have to book a day ahead so that we know we have the soup available.
So obviously they need to make a booking, and then on the website as well, you've got the facility on the website to make bookings as well?
Yes, you can book online, or can give us a call as well, or email us.
Okay, brilliant,
All right.
brilliant.
And we'll touch with that as well, but enough
Definitely.
talking about wine. The proof is in the pudding.
But
let's do what...
We're going to be tasting now. I think Dougal is so excited to be tasting it. I just want to go a few steps back because you mentioned names on the bottles. So I looked at ours as well, and I saw your names on our ones. So this one is Danilo. So who is Danilo?
Danilo, it's a family name from Mrs. Nordia's side. She's Danila, and their son is Daniel.
Oh,
so
wow.
that's where that name comes from. And then the red wine, there's the Merlot. We really specialize in Merlot here at Yonder Hill. And it's called Ella, and that's the name of the first granddaughter.
Oh, wow. I'm loving it. And then some of the other names, because I know there's a few other names there.
Okay. The Sauvignon Blanc is called Benjamin. That's the first grandson, and then our blend is called Nicola. That's the daughter, and then the flagship is named after the Ankoli cattle.
Oh wow!
Okay,
I'm loving that. So tight and close, very family
All right,
oriented.
so we're gonna taste some of these, okay?
That's
and
right.
like you've said, you've been involved with several harvests and what. So talk to us about this one, which is now the rosé that we have here, which is Danilo. So talk to us about this.
Okay, so Danilo is, like I said, we actually quite do a bit of Merlot here at Yonder Hill. So originally, the rosé was only made of Merlot grapes, but now with climate change, and it's important to know also which grape variety, where to plant, what to plant where. So we've started integrating Grenache Noir, which is a very hardy grape variety.
Yeah.
So, okay, shall we taste? And then
Yeah, we should. Now, listen, before we
pudding.
open this, so I also see this thing, it's got some double gold medals on here.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So there's a special rosé competition every year, Rosé Rocks, and we got a double gold for this one.
Oh, here you go, Rhoda.
Thank you, Dougal.
All right.
It's yours.
So now, on this, it says 2021, right? So this is double gold. So this is Danilo. So Now
Oh,
listen
wow.
here,
Smells
because I've seen people do this, hold it to the light, they bring a thing, they do all of this. What is the, guide us through this. What do you tell me, what is the proper way to
smells
do
good.
this? Do I first go to the light?
Yes, but actually, there's something else where you start before that.
Oh, okay.
I actually heard it in a movie, but I love the concept.
All right.
Why do you cheers your glass? Because with wine drinking, you use all your senses. You touch the glass, and also the touch on your tongue, in your mouth. You look at the wine, you smell the wine, but you don't use your hearing. So to make it a full experience, you cheers your glass. So cheers, guys.
Cheers,
All
cheers.
right, cheers. All right.
Cheers.
Okay. All right. So light, smell,
Anyway,
all of that.
Smell.
Okay.
All
now
right.
you first look at the wine.
Yeah.
All right.
So what you're looking for is there any sediment? Is it a clear wine? This seems pretty clear to me. There's nothing wrong with the wine. It can be an indication with white wine or red wine more of age as well.
Oh, wow.
So now you've looked at the wine, and then there's alcohol in it, and the flavors is very volatile. So that's why you swirl the wine,
Yeah.
It smells good.
and then you smell.
Yeah.
And
Lovely.
you can put your nose inside the glass. It's not like brandy. You put your nose, it won't attack you.
Because as soon as you swirl it,
Oh,
you know what I mean.
wow.
You get a lot more. You get a lot more aroma.
Smells good.
Yes, absolutely. And okay, now, so this is 80%, roughly 80% Merlot and
80%.
20% Grenache Noir. So from the Merlot, I get lots of red berries, cherries, and then from the Grenache, maybe a touch of blackberries, and then also a bit of floralness. Now
I agree with you, but I can't distinguish anything.
I have to be an expert
You know,
at this.
Dougal, the most important thing about wine is not, I mean, it's like describing a color. Look at the color of the wine, for example. I'd say that's onion skin. You might say that's salmon, but it's the same color. So there's no wrong in describing wine aromas or wine flavors.
Yeah.
It's what what you know. Okay, so anyway.
All right.
You smell,
No, and that is a good explanation. That is
Smelling
a
it.
good explanation as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, and then you keep the smell there, and then you take a sip.
Oh,
Okay.
And then, sorry, I should have said that before, but you actually just swirl the wine around in your mouth, because
you go swallow it
on your
already.
tongue you have like different places where you taste like bitter and sweet and salt and all those flavors are in the wine. So if you just give it a swirl in your mouth,
I gave it
as
a
well,
rinse.
you'll
I think
even
let's do it
taste
again.
more complex aromas.
The second sip is better than the first one. Is that meant to be?
Especially after toothbrush, yes.
Yeah. But
I
I mean,
like that.
that's also the fact that I've now sort of coated the inside of the mouth, isn't it? As you said.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Oh, I like
But
that.
this is light, and
very
I
light.
got to be honest with you. This is light, and it's almost like refreshing. It's not. You know, it's there. It's really cool.
Mellow.
Exactly. I thought.
I don't know, the best way to explain it is this.
Seeing we're on the women's month topic, I thought we'd go with the pink. So,
Yes, yes.
But this is. And what would you have this with? I mean, traditionally people will, this will be good with fish or something. What?
yes, fish or your salads. I think like something like a caprese with your basil and tomatoes goes very well with this. Maybe some chicken as well.
Oh, wow.
And then, like you said, it's a very light, refreshing wine. So if it's a hot day,
Oh, yeah.
just have it on its own.
Definitely.
Yeah. No, this is fantastic.
that one.
And then, of course, people, when they come down to your tasting room, of course, they'll be able to taste this. And you can also visit the website. You can purchase this online as well.
Online as well.
And you can purchase
That's
this.
right.
And it's got the 2 gold medals, so you know it's
Top
bang.
of the range.
It is really, really, really bang. So, okay, so we're going to close this one. What else is there that you can
Okay.
tell us about this one? Are people buying a lot more rosés these days than, let's say, 10 years ago or 20 or something like that?
Yes, I think rosé is there's a big hype around rosé. Also, even with the production of rosé, people are making a lot more effort in making proper rosés and not just making it as a byproduct. So yeah, rosé is a really big thing in the industry right now.
I was always under the impression, and I mean, well, not now, but like many years ago, that the rosé was always a bit sweeter, because what I always understood is that the red wine gets the color of the redness from the skin, right, from the actual grape, because the juice is juice. But now, does this mean, the rosé mean that the skin stayed on a little bit until it gave a little color and then came away? I mean, how do you get that color?
Good question. I'm very impressed. Okay, so it's true what you say. The juice of red grapes is white. All the colors in the skins and the flavor. But there are 3 ways of making rosé. The one is just blending white and red wine. The other one is you pick the grapes to make red wine. So you pick the red grapes, and the idea is you're going to make red wine. But then you crush it, and then you just leave it for a short while of time on the skins, and you just take a portion of the juice when the color is right, and that's your rosé. You call that bleeding.
Oh wow!
And then the rest of that you use for red wine production. So that's much more concentrated.
Right. Okay.
And then the last one is the Blanc de Noir process, where Blanc de Noir, white from black or red. You use your red grapes for white wine production, and then you get a color like this, where it's I mean, it depends on how long you leave it on the skins, but for this one, we just fill our press. It's like 2 hours skin contact, and then you get this beautiful salmon.
All right, so the color, and I mean, does that? I mean, do you get flavor from there already?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
The flavors are in the skins as well, and then with fermentation, flavors develop even further. But the primary aromas is from the grape itself.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you got to check it out. I got to say, man, this is really light, and it's.
It is.
You know, like happy. It's like I would call it a bit of a wind-up one. You know, like you know, sort of like I want to say pre-party, if that is, you know what I mean, like.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Nice. Way to
Yeah, I
put
should.
it. Yeah.
You know what?
I
Actually, on the sideline, I describe wines.
And the way I see it again, Dougal, that's your interpretation. For me, I see a lovely, beautiful, sunny day, sitting outside in the sun and having a platter of biscuits with my glass of rosé. That's what I picture. That's where I'm standing right now, where I'm sitting in the sun right now.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to move on to the red one quickly, Jeanette.
Yes.
All right. So this is it. This is your Merlot.
Yes, our Ella, and the vintage is 2021. It spent 12 months in French oak barrels.
Okay.
Of which 20% was new oak, and the rest were older barrels.
All right.
So it's not too harsh.
Thank you.
Oh, that smells heavenly.
Am I pouring too much?
No, that's all right.
All right. Let's see.
Don't take my glass,
more
Dougal.
than me.
Don't take my glass, Dougal.
All right. All right. So the same procedure now.
Yes.
We got to look for coral keys or something.
No sediment, no crystals.
All right.
And just by the way, if there were any crystals, it's not glass. It's just a natural wine where tartrates or the acid dropped out. It's not toxic.
Okay. Didn't know that one.
Anyway, nothing in here. Okay, and then
Smell.
So from this color, I can see if you look at the edge of the wines, it's not brown. It's still very, very red and with a purple hue.
Yeah.
So it's not a very old wine. It's a young wine.
Oh, wow.
So Jeanette, if the color is darker, does it mean it will be an older wine?
if it has like a brick tinge, then or I don't want to say brown because brown is faulty.
Yeah.
But if it like has a brick or a tawny tinge, then it shows some aging.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because
this doesn't have.
Yeah, this is quite ready.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's absolutely nothing. It's oh.
It smells lovely.
Just smell that.
Yeah.
Mm. Oh,
Some
wow.
really dark
Oh,
dark
lovely.
fruit, dark cherries, plums.
I actually smell cherry. It's because you said cherry as soon as I smelled it. We say plum, plum, fig, 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 fig. Wait, watermelon, watermelon. No, it doesn't work.
It doesn't
I
work.
definitely smell cherry now.
I also smell the cherry.
You smell cherry,
And
yeah.
you can smell the oak, but it's well integrated. Okay, let's taste it.
That is so soft.
So-
Wow. That is good.
Because red wine, like we said, for red wine, we want the color, so it ferments on the skins to extract more color and more flavor. But then we also extract tannins,
Yeah.
which is like when you drink tea, that dry feeling. And this you definitely get here as well. But it doesn't dry out your mouth too much.
No.
It's like juicy
doesn't.
tannins. It's actually salivating. So
Yeah.
mouth-watering.
No, I got you. I got to say before I forget this, because this is very light.
I love
Do
it.
you know, it is not a heavy, like,
Exactly.
this is light and easy. This is a problem now.
This is a problem.
This is a problem. I'm also, do you know what? As soon as you said cherry, and it was weird because I was smelling it at the time, and I don't know whether you put it in my head but I could smell it.
Smell it. No, I
And
would
now,
definitely.
yeah, and now I'm actually tasting it, and it's coming. And like I almost want to say tobacco chocolatey, but it's not really.
That's right. That's right.
But it's not really like distinct. But it is like very light.
Light.
It is not a heavy, heavy on the tongue. It is light and subtle, and it's a really, can you say easy drinking wine? Does that make sense?
Yes, you can. You may.
Yeah.
It is a rather easy drinking wine. It's not too structured. It's not too heavy. And yeah, so for this wine, you can drink it now as we
Yeah.
enjoying it now. But I think it would still mature for another 3 to 5 years.
Oh, wow.
Because of that nice tannin structure, and it has a good acid that also.
Now, if I had this
the
bottle,
ability.
if I had this bottle, for how long would I be able to have this just standing there on my shelf or in my wine rack, lying around, even if I turn it every day or second day or once a month or whatever? How long would I be able to store this wine, for instance, at my house?
Okay, so it all depends on the style of wine and how it's kept. So this wine I would keep under the right conditions, meaning not too humid and constant temperature of around 18 degrees.
Oh, wow.
I would keep it up to 5 years. It could last longer. And because it has a cork, I would lie it down because otherwise the cork dries out. You don't need to turn it though. Turning is for bubbles in production.
Yeah,
You don't have to turn it. But don't go and put it next to on your display cabinet next to the TV or something like that, because it heats up and then it's not going to last that long.
Okay.
Okay.
Then 5 years become a year and a half.
If not.
Yeah.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. So the way you would store it as well is very important. Now, would the same concept apply to the rosé?
Rosé, I wouldn't keep it that long. This is already a year old. It's 2021 vintage. I think it could last another year or so. It has a good acid, so like I said, that attributes to the ageability of the wine. But I wouldn't keep it for another 5 years. I'd rather enjoy it now in the sun.
in the sun.
I just got to be honest with you. This both of these wines are excellent, but I'm absolutely blown away by this red wine.
Same.
And I mean, and I enjoy Merlot because it's always nice and easy and light in it. But this is super special. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm seeing myself having this with a piece of steak. Lekker.
You can keep the steak. Just give me the wine. All right.
Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely.
This is absolute, and of course, all of these are available. So if I come to the wine farm and I visit you in your tasting room, I will be able to taste all your wines that you have.
Yes, we have a tasting fee of 75 Rand for 4 wines.
Oh, wow.
And that includes a little olive snack, some tapenade and some olives. And then it's 25 Rand extra if you want to taste the Ancoli as well, because that's really something special.
And if you want to do that to visit the tasting room, you can. The easiest way is just to visit your website and you do a booking online. Do you take groups as well?
Tasting. Pardon?
I'd say group booking, like 20 of us, 10 of us could come. Is there a capacity?
Yeah, then we'd prefer a booking.
Yeah.
But otherwise, we open during the week for tastings. It's just you don't. Yeah, if you're just a few people, you don't have to book. You're welcome just to come and experience the farm. But for bigger groups, we'd prefer a booking.
Yeah.
But if all the information is on the website.
And
Easy peasy. It was displayed there.
Listen, this was absolutely fantastic.
Very
so now, I
insightful.
mean, looking at like you said, each harvest is different. So then when we say the date on the bottle, that is the year of harvest, right?
Yes, the year the grapes were picked.
Okay.
All right, so that is always the date. See, I knew that.
Okay, I didn't know that. Well done.
Rhoda makes use of a spittoon. I don't do that. I finish. So yeah, I knew. But so obviously now next year, like, and it all depends on like how the rains were, and you know, and all of these things. You know, I mean, it's a constant juggling act. Your skill and your gut feeling, your intuition, all your expertise is obviously to reach that consistent level to make the next year taste like this year or not better, or, you know, and all of that. And how difficult is it always like pretty much, you know, if you follow your recipe, I mean, there's always those little variables, you know, because you maybe picked the grapes a week earlier, the sun wasn't as hot, you know, and all of these things. I mean, all these measurements that you bring into effect. How difficult would it be the next year to get it as close to it as possible?
That comes with experience, to know what should be done to keep it the same. Yeah, really, practical experience is so important in this industry. I mean, book knowledge is power.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
yeah.
having that practical experience, it's
very important.
Makes all the difference.
Excellent.
And then finally, Jeanette, I mean, looking back at this, I mean, just off air, you were telling us, I mean, this time of the day, you tasting wines, you had to go sniff brandies and taste brandies, and you're constantly expanding your knowledge within the sector in terms of courses and doing things and obviously talking to people, all within this fraternity. What would you tell to a young Jeanette van Lill, young lady, woman out there, a young woman who's saying, you know what, this is definitely a career opportunity. You've mentioned the places where a person could go, the sort of attributes you got to have and all the passion you got to have. And like anything, I mean, passion exceeds everything. What is there that you will tell to young, aspiring winemakers?
Get as much practical experience as you can, and read a lot, because that's also another thing about this industry. You'll never know everything, never.
Oh, wow.
Especially with all the variabilities. And read a lot, really learn as much as you can, and see the magic in what you're doing. You're creating something very, very special. Definitely. And it's a live product. It's not just something you make and it stands still, like we said, it develops. So
yeah.
See the magic, believe in the magic that you're creating, and trust your gut.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I love that.
And then
Rascal guy.
finally, I mean, we make some of the finest wines on the planet, and South African wines are constantly being hailed throughout the globe
yes.
for their excellence and all of that. And it's people like you pouring all that passion who obviously accumulates those accolades for us. But we're doing well as a wine sector on the planet, right?
Yes, yes, we are. Especially, yeah, with this course I did this weekend, I told you about. I mean, if you look at this examples in comparison to the rest of the world, we don't stand back at
Yeah.
all. We have excellent wines.
Oh yeah.
And brandies and sparkling wines as well in this country.
Brilliant.
No, we do.
I believe that.
We do. Jeanette van Lill, thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you for coming along and talking to us here at Mahala Monday. It is really, really much appreciated, and thanks for sharing this with the world. And we wish you all the best, and long may you continue just making some fabulous products that you have been doing, and all the success to you and everybody involved at Yonder Hill.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. And please come and visit soon.
Definitely we will.
And I hope you got lots of wine, because Rhoda's coming. It's not so much us, the persons he brings with.
It's the person I bring with.
Yeah. Thank you, Jeanette.
Thank you, Jeanette. Bye.
Jeanette van Lill, everybody, winemaker out at Yonder Hill. Now, first, let me just tell you right now, let's just backtrack here. This rosé was excellent.
The rosé was brilliant. Was very good.
Yeah. It was just
day,
perfect.
out in the sun.
It was just absolutely perfect. Nice, brilliant, tasty, delicious. It is really good. This was also excellent, and it was light. You know,
I love it. You know, Dougal,
Brilliant.
I'm a sweet tooth person. So back in the day when I had started, obviously with wines, you know, this definitely was not one of my favorites. But as I obviously kind of started acquiring a taste for the red wines, you know, like what I've experienced with this was always that funny, like the back. This I didn't feel that, because, you know, once you know a quality red wine, you know, that doesn't do that. So, you know, you can only speak of quality at the end of the day.
the only thing is, I mean, there's also a considerate of the day, and she touched on it, you know what I mean? And I mean, still early in the day, you just would have had a breakfast or cereal or something, and a bit of coffee or whatever.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, for us, we're not, well, I say us, some of us are used to having early, you know, it is what it is. So, but absolutely refreshing, delicious, to be quite honest with you, and I honestly think this will go well with anything. So, I can only sing kudos, and not only is the kudos from us, but there's medals on here. So, you know, there you go. So very easy for you. Of course, you can get these amazing wines, and you heard from Jeanette as well. I mean, we don't stand back for anybody on the planet. Our wines are truly exceptional, and all you got to do is go to yonderhill.co.za. Go visit the website, go check it out, go visit the farm, and and also go check out their flagship wine, which you said is a Bordeaux style blend, which is brilliant, and also that is called the Ancoli one. That's what it's called. So you got to check that out. That definitely sounds exciting, so I'm really keen to find out more about that one. But brilliant products. And then she touched on the fact that it's an exciting, you're making a live product. It's an ever changing, expanding industry. So there's brilliant career opportunities, and women are certainly making an inroad.
And definitely, and you know what came through on her as well was the passion. You know, she made me excited about wines. I mean, you could just see and sense that passion that was coming from her. You know, really, I love it.
And that is always the important bit. That is always the important bit. But I want to taste again.
Guys, I think we've come to the end of the show, Dougal.
Apparently.
Definitely. Yeah, so
Come
you
to
know
the
what?
end of a lot of things now. But ultimately, thank you very much for joining us today. And thank you once again to Jeanette van Lill, who came on today. I'm just having a laugh.
Why do
I don't know. I'll have another sippy.
Guys, have a fabulous week. It was lovely having you on the show today.
Yeah. And don't forget, you got to like and share. That is the most important thing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the comments. Like and share this, and go check it out. Yonder Hill. Go to their website, yonderhill.co.za. From myself, Rhoda.
Yes. See you. Bye.
Ta-da.